Okay, I'm going to show you how I did the animated journal page. So as of most times, I do it just like I do in real life. I start out with some toned paper. So that's the background color. I add a layer of toned paper. This is my layers right here. So this is the layers button. And this little button here turns off and on the visibility. So this layer here, my nest and pot, is the actual nest looking down. So this was a brass pot that I had hanging from a tree that I had a spider plant in. And then I noticed the Abert's towies had a nest in there. So the first layer I did was the nest, and then the second layer I did was the birds. So here's the baby birds. Let me turn off the nest layer just so you can see. So these are the ones that are animated, and there's 11 of these of the birds here. So let me show you how I did that. So that's the first one. Second one hasn't changed too much. Third one has them moving a little bit. Fourth one's there. Fifth one, you can see they're starting to move their heads and open their mouths a little bit. They're opening more. That's the next frame. They're kind of wide open there. And then they start kind of moving around and wanting food. So that's it. They're all turned on. And then I had a top layer, which I used as a foreground just so I could have an overlay, and I'll explain that. Let me turn this back on. So that's my background. And I also have my text here. So that's all the layers. Now I'm going to show you how it's animated. So if you go over here to your little tool icon here, under Canvas, you'll see a button here that says Animation Assist. Let's turn that on. And then you'll notice that along the bottom here, this thing pops up. So let's hit play, just so you can see. So that's what it's going to look like. I can hit pause, and then if I want, I can scroll back and forth here and see what each one looks like. I can fine-tune stuff. Say like if I wanted, say this layer here, if I wanted to move something on it, I could move it, move it around. And I don't want to do that. Just to show you though, you can reset it. So here's this. So let me show you this background layer here. So this one, if I click it again, this has the option of being a background. So what that means is if you click on this layer for background, that means that this will be the background in every scene in this animation. Okay, now over here, the top one I did, if I click it, it says I've got foreground checked on that one. That means that will be in every animation, but it'll be above the other layers. And then all these layers in between are the sequence of animation. And that's basically all there is to it, really. Now under settings here, there's different options. You can set I had this one set for 7 frames per second, but if you had more layers, you could put more in there. I think we'll leave it at 7 here. When you're working one by one, you might want to do onion skinning, which allows you to see the frames below what you're doing, above and below. And you can play with that, see how you like it. And the way I did this one, you can do a couple of effects. I mean, you can do just one shot where it just plays through this once and that's it. Or you can do a loop where it'll play through this and then start the beginning and loop again. So the option I use is ping pong, which means it'll play all the way through and then it'll go back all the way down and then back and forth. So that's the ping pong. So when you want to export it, you go from Canvas here, you're still under Actions, you go from Canvas to Share. And under Share, you have options of how you can do this. You can make it an animated GIF, animated PNG, MP4, or HEVC. So you could just click on, say, this one, and it's just going to show you what it's going to look like. You still have the option of changing some stuff over here. You can make it web ready. Let's just do that one. And then you just hit export, and it's going to ask you, it's going to export it, and it's going to ask you where you want it to go. So we can just have save video, and it'll go right to my files here on the iPad. And that's basically all there is to it. So if I go here to my photos here, there it is. Now I can upload it to whatever I want to do. And that's all there is to it. Pretty simple.